Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by VtM Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobolds or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.magenpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by Telsorian Games. Telsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been... Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtelsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut.
Imagine, if you will, a dark tunnel, water dripping, echoes like the beat of your heart, faint, weak, and irregular. For months now, all you have endured is pain, as your very being is warped into a perfect weapon. You faintly remember a family, kin, a purpose in life, and a sense of identity. But as soon as they appear, pain forces you to forget them, bit by bit. And over the years, the bits of you remembered were erased, replaced only by hatred and hunger. Imagine, if you will, being abandoned, left to rot away in some dark tunnel. Nothing satiates you anymore, nothing dulls the pain. You have hunted so much that miles around your lair are bereft of life. Unlike you, the living remembers the pain. They remember the loss. And then, on one fateful night, in a dark tunnel, food is delivered. I am Simon at Wandering DM, and I will be your storyteller for tonight. Now let's go on with our... I fucked it up at the last possible moment. Let's get on with our story, shall we?
to us right now. You
Closer
know, I feel like
to the
And we're
heart.
live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the gift sub in chat. Hello, welcome back. This is Vampire the Masquerade Montreal by night. We are in our 4th session of our 5th season. And we are in the sewers. Tunnels, more likely, under the city. No, episode 4. Last week was episode 3. And a lot has happened. I will let the players recap their own adventures up to where we are. As I frantically look for the rulebook I forgot to open. Let's begin with the pair that climbed down from the mountain.
Rats. Lots of rats. Lots of strange rats. Angry rats. Angry, hungry rats.
Explodey acid rats.
They did explode upon impact. They do not have safety features. Like these are not approved for much of anything except for the military-industrial complex. And then hunger happened. The king of the sewers was not a Nosferatu. That was a surprise, and we mourn his passing. Very awkwardly, but in investitures in blood sorcery were made, and there's a lead. It's not a good lead. The Shadow has the key. The Shadow, which has been mentioned previously by an Enzo as being dangerous, it is down here, and apparently it has the key needed to get into the ruins of the Sabbat Temple. It could be a Shadow. For those of you who are in the know about, the Sabbat, other kindred things, could be any number of absolutely terrible things. It is the perfect level of vague to make it any of a myriad of deeply inconvenient to. So how about that new campaign levels of problems?
And who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Pope. Pope will build on the internets, and I will be playing Arthur Porter, the fool who has gotten most people into trouble. Hi.
Up next, your traveling companion for this spelunking session. Hello, Deirdre.
Hey everybody, I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax, at Deirdre Donlin on Twitter, or Praxabard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky. Praxagora Thesmophoria, you see me around here on Twitch, and I get to play Florica Winters, because she is here to do a lot of murder, and hashtag not the Ravnos' fault. Nothing that has gone wrong has been the Ravnos' fault. And I want to keep that up.
And coming from a different part of the island in another set of tunnels, we have Trooper.
Hey everybody, I'm Trooper SJP, and I'll be playing a character tonight. And let's see, last week, my character Dixon was, doing some sightseeing underground, got to go and find the abandoned haven of his sire and reminisce about old times, hang out with some friends, take a bath, and then travel a little bit, just kind of wander around, kind of nice, kind of cool. And that's what happened with me last week.
I think something was missing.
There
From
were a
that
few
description.
things.
I don't think I missed anything. Not that I can recall.
I mean, I believe there was an attempt at takeout.
That this goes beyond takeout.
There was some munching.
No. Takeout is what you have when you're working on something late at night and you have no spoons. No. Amaranth is an entirely different story.
No, Amaranth is a streamer.
Yeah.
Not one we're talking about. Not right now.
To parody Billy Joel for a second, diablerie is such a lonely word.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to go with Tell Her About It. That one. I thought you were going to do that one.
But yes, that is true. Dixon, much like Flory and Arthur, was traveling as a pair with someone else. Someone who... Well, we'll never know, but someone who tried to mess with Dixon's mind. And Dixon was not happy about it. And so... Dixon had dinner. Dixon attacked.
But more importantly,
Yep.
Nobody knew that they were hanging out together tonight or went down to the sewers or they had any plans to meet up. So there are no witnesses.
There are indeed no witnesses. We ended our last session with a growl, a hoarse kind of sound coming from deeper in the tunnel behind Lori and Arthur.
I would like to point out that may have been where we ended, but it wasn't where we ended the session.
No, but where you ended.
Question. Those are separate. Those are separate.
Arthur Flory. As you glance over your shoulder, you notice a pair of yellow eyes creeping closer and closer. It's not sneaking given the speed at which it's coming towards you, but it seems to be far enough that you might have time to react before whatever that is within the cone of light of your respective flashlights.
Flory still has the
Sense the beast? Oh,
yeah.
There is danger. There is danger.
Cool.
Will Robinson danger.
Oh, that's great. Flory is a little pissed right now. It's been a night. There have been a lot of things that have gone wrong. And so she's going to channel one of her favorite films and wait 15 seconds until it enters the cone of vision just a little bit more, and then just shoot the motherfucker. Like, we're done being nice. Like, this is Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Boom. That's all that is.
And what about Arthur?
Because you said this thing was coming at speed.
Mm-hmm.
In the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Yellow eyes. So it's already in like a full gallop, quote unquote.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not going to be able to talk my way out of that. If they're already in full gallop, there's no, hey there, handsome, let's make a deal. As much as I would love that, no, this is there is a deep deep, heavy sigh. And it, for those of you who enjoy wrestling, we are taking a very specific page in GIF. As Artie reaches into his pocket, slides on 2 sets of brass knuckles, cracks his neck, and is getting ready to go to work.
When it comes into the light of your flashlight, you see a mostly hairless monstrosity running on all fours. Its legs definitely too long for the creature, too thin. Both of its thighs are of a different size. It's got one shoulder, apparently, that is almost wounded back into the creature's almost neck/lower back.
Yeah.
Like where your shoulder blade should start. And it is bended, or I should say, yeah, the wrong way. Basically running on the top of the hand.
Bent.
Bent, yeah. Ooh.
I was like, banded? Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
That was just me.
The other arm looks closer to what you would expect of such a creature. It's got canine features, maybe lupine, head with 2 glowing yellow eyes and a mouth full of sharp yellow fangs.
Yeah.
As you see it appear in the light, you have your action flurry.
I'm gonna shoot a thing. So, boom.
Oh yeah, I don't have the warning. Yeah.
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 successes. You fire
And one of
the
those is a
creature.
crit.
Yep. You fire the creature.
Mm-hmm.
The bullet goes in. There's blood oozing out of the hole. It doesn't slow down.
Okay.
That's why I have a stake too. But you know, round 2.
Round 2.
In the meantime,
Well, I'm
Is
gonna
going to-
fire and then move and prepare to stab
Stake.
a bitch. Yeah.
It's going to jump in your general direction. At the size that it has, it could easily reach both of you with each arm.
okay. Well,
What
as
are
it
your
comes
moves?
in close, I'm going to try and sidestep it and then hit it. So I'm guessing it's reaching out. I would be Dex Athletics to get it out of the way as best as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me roll its attack roll. It's 2 successes.
Yeah. Versus 8. No, I'm just gonna
That means
take.
that you would take, unless you reroll some of those dice, you would take 6 superficial damage.
I
But
guess I'm going to spend a willpower.
non-divisible superficial damage.
I'll reroll 2. To just try and save some of that.
There is something else that will happen this round, but I'll let you roll all of it.
Nope. Just going to take the 6.
By the way, the page should be in the Roll20, in the Legend Keeper. Appropriately called The Thing in the Sewers.
Okay.
There's a link
You
for
buried-
people in chat.
You buried the lead, however. You buried the fact that the thing in the sewers is not listed under the damned or even mortals. It's listed under the Garou.
That might be a typo, or like a miscategory. It might be just a mistake. Sometimes Simon just mistakenly puts things under Garou. Weirdly,
You, Arthur, you managed to sidestep,
Okay.
but feel the blow of a
Oh, yeah.
car ramming into you.
Oh, yeah.
However, as this happens, almost a second later, I'll let Flori make her roll.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to happen basically within the same amount of time. So Flori, play first.
You stab, correct? Let's see how this works. 3 successes. Not great, but I still stab a bitch.
With your knife.
Yeah. She's got the knife, and she's got pulled the knife, the K-bar, and because with the sense beast up, as this thing was coming, she would know not to just waste a stake on it. That was, not going to be a good thing.
Well, you need to focus to learn what kind of beast it is, but I mean, visually.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
you
enough
don't
other
really
details.
need to- yeah.
There was
as you stab the thick, meaty side of this creature.
Can I?
Yep.
I want to do something interestingly stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Can she, as she stabs, because she knows this isn't gonna kill a Garou, can she use the stab into the knife as a placehold to jump onto the back of said thing?
It might be a little hard, because what's going to happen is something else is going to ram into that
Oh,
big
that's
thing.
great. That's fair. That's fair. That's entirely fair. We'll put a hold in that. That's what she's thinking about doing, and then something else happens in the way.
It comes at it like a cheetah. Or a jaguar. It's smaller. It's a blur. A familiar blur. Dixon, would you like to make your attack roll?
sure. I mean, I heard some badness over there. I have a question. Could I have picked up some, chunk of concrete? Like, I have ripped up parts of the sewers before, but could I pick up a big chunk of concrete on my way in?
Given your potence, yes.
Okay. I would like to attack this thing with my big chunk of concrete. Just like, and I do have my basic free ones up, potent celerity.
Well, the same you had at the end of the last episode, yeah.
Yeah.
By
Okay.
the way, everyone, don't
so
worry. I'll flash back a bit to explain this in extremis entrance.
This will be strength plus melee.
Yeah, because it's a rock.
Because it's a big rock.
Damage-wise, add
It's +4.
+4 for the giant rock.
Yeah.
I don't have the table with weapons in front of me, but go ahead.
Page 304. Huge melee claymore or steel beam, +4.
Yeah, that would be the
versus-
equivalent of a steel beam.
Yeah, versus heavy melee broadsword fire axe.
It will be destroyed by the impact, though.
Oh, that's
Just
fine.
so you know.
We're here for collateral damage. But I get +3 on that. So melee strength smit +3. 4 successes.
4 successes.
And that doesn't count the +4 for damage.
Oh, you have to roll 4. You roll them all in one pool now, compared to
Oh,
older
nice.
editions.
Well, that's nice. Let me add another 4 then. Rock.
Five.
5.
Hmm.
Another 5 successes. That's added to.
So 5 total.
Flurry had an odd number. Okay, that's what I wanted to check.
Yeah, I had 3.
It's just like zooming in with like big piece of concrete because there's been a number of cave-ins. Just gonna like ram it from behind with this big massive piece of concrete.
You all recognize the shape, though it's mostly a blur. But Dixon just smashed a piece of concrete on that creature's back. There's a loud crack. There's a vertebrae that breaks through the skin. It yelps, and then you see the vertebrae pop back inside. It's gonna be everyone's turn. This creature is going to rip Dixon a new one. No, not strike through.
I should note Dixon is covered in blood, just
Yeah, I have to.
as if he's been bathed in blood recently, like he went to a jacuzzi of blood.
No, you're slowly drying of that blood because now it's going to be tacky and sticky and
Nice. That's important. You know what I mean? Just like tacky, sticky. I hope you're not still hungry because there's just like blood everywhere. Oh, I don't think you are. So that's great. Lots of blood. Leopard features a little bit less prominent. But yes. Is it out? Did we go by sides? Is that right?
Yeah, so the 3 of you and then the 1 of me.
I would attempt to grapple the creature, so leave him unable to leave you all open.
Going to be very difficult given its size.
and I think what's going to happen if we look at the visual of like Dixon coming in and like the creature has come down the tunnel and Florrie's took the shot, sidestepped, pulled the knife to stab as far as she could in. Dixon came in from the other direction with a giant rock to crush down, and it faltered. And I think when Flory realizes that Dixon's going to go for the grapple, she's going to try and again do what she was originally planning, using that knife to vault up, and at the same time pull the knife and try and stab down through the cranium.
I'll say use Dex and Athletics for this instead of the regular, might and strength. Sorry, and weapon. And you can add your, the knife damage to that roll anyway. Arthur.
I want to try and do two things. First, I'm going to use this reflexively to move some stuff around physically.
Why are you using reflexively?
Because otherwise my health pool has me at impaired.
Oh.
So
You're don't forget that you all can mend your wounds.
I was planning on doing that after I'm done, making myself bigger. So first it's the rouse check. Okay. Then
the sight of a human popsicle, or I should say a kindred popsicle next to you is
yeah, but I can already tell that's tacky. That's not fresh. Though we have different problems because this thing is supernatural, it's antagonistic, and because it's supernatural, it's one of the few ways I can get the little voice inside my head to go quiet. If I were to drain this thing dry. So that's its own can of worms.
But do you really want to eat that?
Yes! The answer is yes!
It's, by the way, while the two of you might not be that into licking Dixon at the moment because it's bad blood, mostly congealed. The creature, though, it seems to looking forward to it.
I just had to roll my rouse check for prowess, by the way.
And I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll some of those dice.
Go right ahead.
My grapple's 5, by the way.
Yeah, it's roll against your grapple. I'll do in a minute. I would rather like all the players roll first. Yeah. So I'm not like cutting the things in half in for people in chat. That's one more success.
Yep, that's what I needed.
All right.
Because I just need to move a dot of strength to a dot of stamina. And then the rouse check to okay, I am getting very hungry to heal.
Eat that, not us.
That's gonna be the plan.
The creature, seeing how it is caught between everyone, in its attempt to get rid of Glory on top of its head, Dixon trying to pin it, not necessarily to the ground, but to, wrestle it into a lock.
A lock.
It raises both arms up and slams them down around, well, between you on the ground around. When the arms come down, they have tripled in size. And and the shockwave of just this tantrum is enough to send some of the bricks from the tunnel above you loose, and they fall down with bits of dust and dirt. It's still going to roll. Basically, what's going to happen is, however many successes I have, of course, if it's lower than Dixon, you can forget the tantrum. If it's higher than Dixon, I will ask all of you to basically share the damage among yourselves. Whoever wants to take however much, it's all non-divisible superficial damage. Oh wow, I was typing my Roll20 command in Streamlabs.
Don't do it in Streamlabs.
Oh, that is the worst. But
21 dice.
total of 7 successes.
I will take that to superficial.
Oh no, it's 7 total
Versus
that people
versus
have
my
to.
5, right?
No,
So
no, no.
that's
The 5 is not reduced in this instance. That's the special discipline power it uses.
I can take 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 health, so I can take 5 of them.
I'll take 2.
I can take 1.
So you take 4 then, Trooper. I'll take
I'll
2.
take 5
2,
and you
1.
can each take 1.
Okay.
4, 1, 1.
Yeah, I
Alright.
can do that.
All right.
Um,
Oh no, 5, 5, 1, 1. 5, 1, 1.
511, yeah.
Yeah.
The shock reverberates down the tunnel in both directions. You hear multiple rats squeak in fear. They're loud enough and they're just off-key enough to know that weren't normal-sized rats.
Mm-hmm.
But they're running away. They are utterly scared. Next turn.
Can I stab this in the head?
Yes, you can definitely stab it in the head. I'll say this. If you take a -4 on your roll, the successes you'll do won't be it'll be like an undivisible superficial instead of because it takes very little damage otherwise. But since you're
Yeah.
stabbing it in the brain,
But that literally would mean I would roll minus. That would be rolling 2 dice.
unless you rouse check, you know, you have blood. You can use it.
That's fair. I can try and rouse to do this. Rouse check succeeded. Okay, so then it becomes +2. So then it's the roll without the bonus
Mhm.
for the weapon. So 4 successes
All right.
for
that's
stabbing it in the
your
head.
action.
As Dixon is
Wow.
holding it, I'm on the back and stabbing downward. This is probably not the best place for me to be if there's a cave in, but it's where I currently am.
Arthur and Dixon, what are you doing this turn?
I'm going to, while Dixon is holding this beastie, attempt to
I
bite
wasn't
it.
able to get it. I'm not holding it. I
No,
wasn't
but
able to grapple.
it's a new turn.
Yeah. But I'm not holding it yet. I may not.
Okay.
No.
I'm not able to. I'm not able
Well,
to get
I mean,
the
you're
grapple.
probably like grabbing onto it, but not enough
Um,
to control it.
In that case, I would like to aid Dixon in trying to restrain this thing as best I can. Just give him help because I'm a talker, not a fighter. And I'm right now, I don't think guns or even my teeth are going to do a whole lot against this thing.
Oddly enough, no, they wouldn't. Past editions, you would still deal aggravated damage, but that's no longer the case in this specific instance.
Yeah, like I've got one last. Well,
I mean, biting a werewolf, it's always funny though.
I
By the
will
way, does armor help us with that superficial damage? By the way,
yes, armor reduces damage at a 1-for-1 ratio before you take the rest.
Okay.
Because wearing a leather jacket that I stole from somebody that I chatted with.
Actually, I'm going to try. This is dumb. This is incredibly dumb. I am going to try to use mesmerize on the rampaging, blood-hungry werewolf.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get it to go to sleep.
You're gonna quell it.
Sleep. At least I'm not more hungry. Sleep.
So that's quell the beast, right?
No. This isn't dominate.
Mesmerize.
This is mesmerize.
Oh, mesmerize. Sorry.
Yeah. I wish I had quell the beast right now. But no, we're going to go with the Hail Mary pass of mesmerize.
It is going to require a roll, though.
Yes. It gets intelligence plus resolve.
Yeah.
I
Werewolves are known for this.
I get manipulation plus my dominate.
It's also going to use
plus your discipline dots. Don't forget the discipline dots.
I know,
That
but still, this is a Hail Mary.
It's going to use half of its resources to add 2 dice to that roll. Because it is to represent the fact that it's sort of frenzying, right?
Yeah.
That's a big 6.
Well, this is a contested check.
Yes.
So 3 versus their 6. So not so much.
You order it to go to sleep.
Yeah.
And one of the ears twitches. Like it recognized language. And it immediately sort of jerked its head away from where the noise was coming from. Like if your voice itself heard it. It not enough to, let's say, lose HP over it, but enough that it did not enjoy whatever it is that you just did to it. And finally, Trooper.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get that grapple on, and I'm going to rouse for strength. Hello, rouse check. Hungry 3, and let's do a grapple, and we'll see how this looks. Strength brawl plus that is a 6.
This turn, by the way, it's going to try to bite Dixon.
So while that's happening, I'm gonna try to sort of like come in from behind it and like grapple onto it to just like, you know,
Let me just roll
restrain
something
this
for it.
creature.
Eh. Yeah. 8 minus the 2 successes I rolled on the check before. That is 6 successes. It bites. It goes to take a bite out of your entire head.
I'm gonna roll my willpower because if it's a tie, because it's a tie, right?
Yeah.
A tie is probably no good. So I have
Spend the
3.
willpower.
Yeah.
Spend the willpower to
means,
reroll
tie
the
means
3.
it's not going to deal any damage to you. Like, its attack succeed, it doesn't deal any damage to you. I was going to describe why.
Oh.
Because basically as it goes to chomp down on your head, it suddenly rears its head back, and you see Flory riding the werewolf like one would a mechanical bull at a rodeo, holding onto it with her knife in its skull. It jerked because of the pain and missed your face by an inch. Except because of that, you now have the upper hand, and it is grappled. Flory, there is something else.
Yeah.
When you buried your knife in its skull, it made a how can I say, a dry impact sound.
Like there's no organs there? Because I'm used to hitting
No,
organs.
like the skull is full of something solid.
Sawdust.
No, that's not solid, but cement maybe.
Block hit.
That too.
Next round, by the way, it's gonna try to get free of the grapple. That's its action this round.
I'm gonna bite. Gonna bite it because I've grappled it, so I'm gonna bite it.
Its wounds have. I'm not describing it every turn, but like there's a regeneration that happens. You are doing damage. Like you can see the creature is slower. Its movement a little more sluggish than it was before, but it's still a killing machine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bite it since I've grappled it. I'm biting it because I've grappled it. I'm gonna bite it, and then immediately trigger brutal feeding because that's a automatic add-on if you successfully bite it.
So you are
like that.
Vacuuming a werewolf.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just
do
so
as much
you know,
damage to this
for
thing
the
as I
fan
can.
art, this is Dixon sucking a werewolf, but as in the
Phrasing.
blood thing, not the Rule 34 thing.
Or, you know what? I don't judge. Just.
All right, so you're going to brutal feed Flory. You're still holding onto the knife.
Yeah, I think she's gonna hold the knife there and use the gun and just fire into the brain from here.
Cool. Very Devil May Cry move.
We all want to be we all want to be Virgil. Sorry, Dante's great, but we all want to be Virgil.
'Cause I'm hungry now. That's all.
That's fair. Quick. I'm going to in this moment of absolute chaos and life and death. I want to try and identify this fucker because something feels amiss.
Indeed.
It's your cousin Fred.
Colt, does my specialty count?
Your specialty counts.
I was
That's not a
afraid
good
you
sign.
were going to say that.
Medicine also counts.
Oh,
So
the
if you
flesh
can give
crafting?
me
The flesh crafting
wits-
specialties?
Yeah, wits and occult plus 2 dice.
Hmm.
I mean,
None of that seems good.
out of game, we're all... The clues have been given away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, you look at the Legend Keeper and...
The thing in the
kinda
sewer.
evident.
Just read it.
Hmm.
Oh.
Goes and- Oops.
Worrisome. Worrisome.
3 successes.
That thing used to be a werewolf.
What is it now?
Can I keep it for after the combat, just so we keep the stuff going? But you identify it as it has the same vulnerabilities and resistances as a werewolf. That you know instantly. And you know that you could probably damage it using flesh crafting on it.
Oh,
I'll go into the
that's nice.
background info after the fight, if you don't mind.
Like, there's a moment of just like, okay, like, again, I want you all to picture he has increased his size because there is a werewolf size amount of, bones that are broken in Artie's body. He is a corpse that should not be standing, but is. And in this moment, like, the body, like, oozing gore, should not be standing. The eyes still in this moment go wide as he finally gets a good look at this thing.
Flesh crafting is fun.
Question. Do I get a bonus for point blank at this instance?
Yes, because you're right next to it.
I'm on it and shooting
on
it in the head.
actually, yeah. Let me just... What could we...
I made my rouse check to pump my strength again.
Mhm.
Just, for the record.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna
Okay.
make that willpower roll.
All right. Go ahead and give yourself a +4.
+4.
Yep.
Cool. It's gonna read +5, but that's partially for the gun.
Sure.
So 8 successes.
8 successes for you. And Dixon?
5 successes.
Okay.
I do love this visual of this moment because it's Florrie's taken the headlamp off earlier to try and hide from when Artie
Yeah, lost it.
frenzied. And so Florrie, in all black, her hair pulled back, has got a knife in the skull, and has put the gun to the skull of this thing and is just firing point blank in it. At the same time, Dixon's on one side chomping down and having dinner, and Artie's in the background, just eyes going
Freaking
wide
out.
at realization. And Florrie's like, "Can you freak out after we kill this?"
Don't get the bite on. It's got 9 successes.
We are doing a very wrong version of the mummy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Wait.
Do you-
Does that make Florrie Rick?
I think in this instance, Dixon is Rick, because I don't expect the librarian to be biting the werewolf.
No, but the librarian is standing in the background. Because then oh, does that make me Ardet Bay? If I'm Ardet Bay, life is great. I'll be Ardet Bay. It's fine.
All right.
Which one is the comic relief? I'm that one.
No, you're not Jonathan. You are definitely you're Rick. You can be Rick. I'll be
I'm
Ardet
Jonathan
Bay.
in this instance. I'm the one wide-eyed staring straight into the monster while everyone's doing action things.
With broken bones.
Yes, many.
All right. Flory, you empty half of your magazine into the creature's skull. Do you know what happens when you shoot concrete point blank?
It shrapnels.
That's kind of what's happening to its brain. Well, its skull.
Oh, that's great.
It
Except
also
now you see.
it's.
Hmm?
I actually know a lot about this. Yay for being in the South. No, it not only does it shrapnel, it's such a bitter building material. Like it flakes, cracks. It's a if it suffers a failure, it's a cascade failure.
Except in this case, it's bone.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it is almost, well, it's not as brittle, but like bits of bone fly all over the place. After a few shots, you can see inside its skull. I mean, there's blood, of course, but for a brief moment, as the blood splatters away and the flash of the muzzle is not blinding enough that you can see, there is something brass colored inside its skull, and you have damaged it.
I think she would shout, "It's fucking Wolverine!"
Oh, it breaks the grapple. That's what that 9 success means.
Mm-hmm. So you
Technically,
do not
that
get the
also
brutal feat.
technically that's 10
Well,
successes.
I didn't even get to bite it.
Yeah.
No, that's what I meant. It breaks free of the grapple and the brutal feat. So 8 successes from Flory. Ooh. Straight in the skull. It is severely wounded. But again, kind of like earlier, almost as soon as you're done shooting, the hole closes.
This is literally fucking Wolverine.
For its turn, it's going to grab Flory and fling her away.
No, for its
Like
turn it
against
broke
the
the
wall.
grapple.
Huh?
No. For its turn it broke. For its turn
No,
it broke
no,
the grapple.
I'm talking. Next
For
round.
the next round.
Oh,
It's
the
going to
next
attempt
round.
to.
Oh gosh.
I should call the rounds.
Yeah.
Next round.
Yeah.
Here's his action.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Interpose myself between it and Flory so that it has to get me, not her.
I think
Flory's
on its back.
is going to grab her, fling her against the wall.
Flory is, because she saw the hole happened, she's gonna put the muzzle of the gun inside. Like, as she sees it start to heal, she's gonna put the muzzle of the gun on the inside of the healing werewolf.
It's way too fast for that.
Okay.
The healing is almost instantaneous. Like you shoot, it makes a hole, and you barely have time to see the brass thing that it closes up. Even your knife, now that you think of it, has withdrawn about like 1.5 inches.
Okay, so she's gonna, for flavor, put force back on the knife and then put the gun right at the knife hole and fire into, using the hole that's already been created
In
by
its
the
neck.
knife. Yeah.
Okay.
And fire from that. This is fine. And then
And then Arthur and Dixon.
And then just
it's-
slide.
Instead of a 4+4 for this one, go with +2.
Mm-hmm.
There's a combat option that I'm looking for.
Mhm.
I have to just find it.
I got the page right here for physical combat. Called shots, grappling.
No, it's a different page. So I'm going to because the book does not believe in
book is
putting
well
all
made,
the
yeah.
things in the same category on the same set of pages. Why? Who knows? It's unclear. I don't know why that is. I am going to take the maneuver option, which is trying to get into an advantageous position, right? To be able to sort of help other people. So what I would like to do here is to lift the creature up so it does not have the leverage to throw Flory effectively, because it's not going to be sort of like it's not going to be able to use its sort of weight and its leverage because it's hopefully not going to be on the ground.
You're impeding its biomechanics.
Yes, I would like to impede its biomechanics.
All right. In this case,
so I'm not trying to control its limbs or anything like that. I'm just trying to lift it off the ground so that it does not.
okay. So let's do it this way.
I want to impede its biomechanics.
Yeah. It is very heavy. We'll go with a difficulty 5. Just static 5. It's just weight. If you succeed, each extra success gives an extra die to Flory, up to 3.
Excellent. I'm trying to grapple onto this thing, right? And I am not successful in doing so at the moment, but
it is 3 times your size.
I'm very strong though. I've got a lot of strength, inner strength.
For a few seconds, you did manage to basically wrestle the moose.
Yeah. And Mises are very dangerous. I am going to rouse to try to boost my strength here.
While you're doing all that math, Arthur?
Oh, wait, you shouldn't have to rouse as long as you're doing the same action you did last round.
You have to rouse every single turn, every round.
Yeah.
Every round is a rouse.
It's a good way to get hungry.
Given the identification, do I believe if I try Mesmerize again and tell it to heal, as in
I'm gonna have to willpower this.
sit and stay still, would that work?
I
With
make
the
it, but I don't
knowledge
get any
you
bonus
have,
dice.
Yes.
If you make it, it's gonna be +1 because
Okay.
minimum. So that's a +1 to Flory. If you tell it to sit, that might work. Heal might be too complex for it. It might not see itself as needing healing.
Okay, so my best thing is to try and Inuyasha this motherfucker. Okay, this is what we're doing. So rouse check. Super hungry.
Nice. Side note, I think both of us need to make frenzy checks now.
Yeah.
Hunger frenzy checks, because we have hunger 4 and there's blood all over me.
Yep. And there's blood all over it. Well, not all over it, but it does trickle from wounds.
So that's 4 successes. I'm going to spend a willpower
I was gonna ask.
to
Well, basically, I need to.
So no, that is 6 successes.
All right, 6 successes. He needs to roll for the throw with 9 successes.
Yeah.
He's going to grab you, throw you. Well, actually, grapple. That's the first turn.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing.
I need him to resist that mesmerize. I still got one success.
Yes. He is not going to spend any of its resources. Some might say that they're gone. 3 successes.
Okay. Just too strong. But I managed to resist frenzy.
Mm-hmm. We're moving on to the next round. He's going to try to throw Flory at the wall or maybe the ceiling. Who knows?
I'm in frenzy.
Yay! Yay!
Yay! I would like to point out that at this point, where Flory currently is might actually be the safest place to be.
Yeah, about to be shot put by what I'm thinking is an abomination.
But still on the back of the crazy werewolf versus, and not in between the rampaging undead werewolf abomination and the possibly beginning to frenzy Dixon. I am not in between those two people.
You are currently not in between them. That is correct.
I didn't say it was a good plan long term. I just said currently. But I'm going to because I know I cannot break this grapple, and that would be a horrible way to go. I am going to do something interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to no, I think she knows she's gonna get thrown. So can I fire and tuck and roll? So
let's
fire,
do it this
like,
way. Choose either Dex and Firearms or Dex and Athletics. Basically, we'll put them all in together, right?
Yeah.
He's going to throw you nonetheless, but if your successes are higher than his, then you can, bounce off the wall, shoot.
Well, it's one of those. I
roll
think
as
it's
you
one.
land.
I think it's one of those. She's still got the gun here as he's grabbed her. She hasn't moved the gun, so she wants to fire and then like.
As he throws you. But yeah, that's basically your roll is gonna act as a. If you roll higher, then you also deal damage and you're fine. If you roll lower,
Yeah.
you roll lower.
Yeah.
Gonna be 11 successes.
Thanks. No, it's 12 successes, unfortunately.
He doesn't have
He doesn't have crits?
He doesn't have the chance to crit.
Oh, yay. Only 11.
But he also doesn't have the chance to.
Okay, well, I'm going to spend
Only
another
4 for the brawl
willpower.
strength.
I'm going to spend another willpower.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
Brawl strength, Dixon, because you're punching him in your frenzy.
Well, no, I'm just trying to grapple him in my frenzy, but it's only 4 successes.
So it's not going to be enough.
No.
So it's 6 successes, which is not enough, but
Nope.
is better than 11.
But that means you're going to take 5 divisible superficial damage. So
Yay.
basically 2. As
Yay.
it throw you against the wall, you smash, your back smashes against it. You fall down basically within arm's reach of Arthur.
Cool.
I'm all up in his face.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is great. This is great. Thanks.
And you
this
can
is
see,
great.
you're a few feet away from frenzying Dixon. You know what frenzy looks like. You've seen Dixon in frenzy.
You've never seen him in a hunger frenzy, though. You've only seen him in fear frenzies.
Fear frenzy, yeah.
Yeah, but I just saw Artie in a hunger frenzy. I've seen both of you in frenzy. I'm like, this is not a place I want to be.
Oh,
Also, I want my fucking knife back. She kept hold of the gun. She probably didn't keep hold of the knife. Like,
Yeah. Next turn. He's going to kill
I'm in a
Dixon.
frenzy, so I'm gonna keep trying to grapple it because that's in my frenzy. It's like I need to
You
grapple
want
and
to
eat.
eat. Yeah, you want to eat.
Yeah.
can I? She kind of like makes eye contact with Artie, sees Dixon. Can she use Malpanene? Oh no, it is. I counted my crits as +1.
You get a +2.
Yeah, but the roll 20 does it.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Roll 20
When
adds
you
it.
roll it.
Yeah, for example, do you see my raw plus strength?
What
I've got I
Krellin,
rolled 4 successes, and then it gets actually 6.
yeah, Krellin, it's not just a 10. A crit is no longer just a 10. It has to be 2 10s to double. So I've never rolled. I
weird
don't.
math.
It's weird math. So Flory looks at Artie and goes, "This is probably a bad idea, but it's the only thing I can think of at the moment." And she's going to use Malpanene down the hall, down, and throw her voice to throw a like really high-pitched whistle just down the hallway, the opposite direction.
I don't have I know it's in the player's guide, but I don't have it open at the moment. Is there a roll for that?
For Malpanene, no, but I can. But basically, it's Dread Gaze is what I have to roll. My Malpanene
Unless you
is
use one of your other powers, but at a distance, basically.
Oh, okay, but as
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
So
Alright.
basically, she's using Dread Gaze for the
Dread Gaze, but at range.
but at range, yeah.
Okay.
And which is
Um.
the composure against their composure resolve.
Yeah, which we all know it has in spades.
Yeah,
6
and it's
successes for grappling.
That's his Dread Gaze resistance. So that's 4 successes.
okay. Hold on,
So
I have
you need to beat 4 successes.
I have to roll this.
Meet or beat.
Uh-huh.
Oh no. Oh, that's funny. It all works out. I'm also gonna roll the Dixon grapple check.
Okay, so hold on, I have to count. 1, 2, 3,
9 for Dixon.
3,
Yeah.
How much do you have?
6. Hold on.
6.
And it's charisma, presence. Oh, there we go. Okay, 6. All right. Really? Really?
Wow.
Really? No, I'm taking
Roll
that
20 is in a
willpower.
mood. Roll 20 is in a mood.
Ooh.
All right, burn that will.
Yeah, it's I can only re-roll 3 at a time, correct?
Yeah, just
I'm
3.
just double checking. That's what I thought and was 3 successes.
Just 3
wow.
successes. You needed 4. You want to use
Yeah.
another point and re-roll?
I
Because you
I can't.
technically have 1 more black die from your original roll and 2 more from the re-roll. Only need 1 success.
Okay. This is the last willpower I can spend, literally. Okay, so
I've been done out of willpower.
Not fun.
But luckily, you don't need
No.
social or mental stats when you're just trying to murder something and eat it. I've been told.
It's 3. No, you're missing
Oh.
a die.
Okay,
Because
sorry.
if we were playing with dice, right, you could
Yeah.
take from your
Oh,
first.
Okay,
There are
so there it
4.
is. There it is. 4 successes.
All right.
To have a dread gaze on a werewolf from a distance. From a
So
distance.
it needs to spend a willpower, right? Or
Yeah,
be unable to act for a turn.
It's unable to act in their own defense for a turn unless they spend willpower equal to the user's margin of win. So it's
Minimum
1.
of 1. Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
If it can't defend itself this turn, which is the same turn as my grapple.
You successfully grapple.
That's why she's doing it.
But let me describe what happens. You throw your voice far away, this high-pitched whistle, and instead of bearing down on Dixon to basically, split him in half, it immediately covers its ears and roars. The roar itself sends a like like when there's an explosion, what do you call the wave after?
Shockwave.
Shockwave. Yeah, it's a shockwave. That just hits you like a gust of wind. It doesn't come from its mouth. It's like it exploded around him from maybe its skull. Dixon, you have grabbed him.
Just like climbing up, it's just like there's a. I look like Liza Minnelli right now because I haven't, because I'm quite hungry and I'm just not myself when I'm hungry. So I'm just.
Look, I'm just going to start carrying around Snickers for the two of you.
So, just
telling
for
you,
all
Liza
our
Minnelli.
artists out there, Dixon is climbing a werewolf.
One could say, with the size of this werewolf, scaling.
Scaling. Artie, what did you do this turn?
Considering I realize just how hungry I feel, and that Flory is next to me, I need to get away from Flory.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, this...
Yeah,
sweet
no.
Rebel's blood.
And so we're going to do the smartest thing and get closer to the werewolf. And now that Dixon has the werewolf grappled, so it's already grappled, this is not my first rodeo. And we're getting a lot of Sabat flashbacks. Going to try and bite the werewolf, boss.
I believe
Look,
it cannot
you're-
defend itself against you because
No,
it
it
is
can't.
currently grappled.
It cannot defend. It cannot defend itself this entire turn.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to bite and feed on a werewolf.
I would like to point out
well,
the two of you are double teaming this
werewolf.
werewolf.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
Just so you
because
know,
it's
the
going high, I'm going low.
The
Yeah.
bite itself should normally, deal anchor-rated damage. It won't on it.
Yeah.
By the way,
Mm-hmm.
it has
If
a
you
lot of
if you're
blood.
not grappled, if you haven't grappled it, biting it you have a big penalty. But if you
Yeah,
grapple
you
it
still need
first,
to
and then the next turn you bite, you don't get that penalty.
to defend against and are harder against exposed flesh, blah blah blah. Yeah, I'm trying to find the
213,
why
I
is it
think.
not?
That's why I didn't go straight in for a bite.
Yeah.
Because if you go straight in for the bite, it's harder to do.
But if he's already grappled,
But you have to make the blood attack. You
Yeah, you have to
Do
have
it, and
grappled
it's-
him.
okay.
or-
Well, I will. Or
Oh no, go ahead.
No, if-
or you can try, but you've got a. I think it's a -4
-2.
if you just try
Minus-
to.
I will grapple it while it cannot defend itself.
That's true. All right, so you're basically World War Z-ing and just
Yeah.
swarming all over it. For its next turn, it's going to swat those mosquitoes away. It's going to divide basically its successes between Arthur and Dixon, but attack
Okay.
you both. What are you all doing? Okay, feed. All right, Flory, what are you doing?
well, actually, it's bite.
Yes.
bite, and then Artie will not be able to feed until next turn, but I can
Mhm.
brutal feed this turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Florrie's going to go apparently deafen a fucking werewolf again. And an attempt to dread gaze. This time I'm not going to be able to re-roll, but we'll see what happens
Mhm.
next. So, you know.
Oh, look at that. Draining a werewolf dry can reduce hunger to 0 for 2 vampires if they share the kill.
Nice.
There's just enough of werewolf for you two boys.
Aw.
This is the
If we
strangest dinner date.
Oh, hold on. Sorry. I almost clicked the wrong one because I was
If
There
we
we
can
go.
get the bite on.
Yeah.
if you
It's a
can
big
get your
if.
bite
Yeah, but
on.
we'll check with the dread gaze first, and then
Yeah, I just was about to. I want to make sure I rolled this correctly. Uh, 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 uh.
oh, and remember, that's a thing, friends. Remember, because of your blood potency,
Fuck.
you are allowed. Oh, it's just on level 1. Sorry, level 1 rerolls.
And that's only for the rouse check for the ability.
I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
There's
Taking
nothing I
messy
can do about it.
critical. Yeah.
There's nothing I can do about it.
All right.
Nice.
Like-
Nice.
No, you know what?
It's-
You know what? The beast.
on the
beast
plus
has
side,
the-
There's nobody around. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's
there
great.
is nobody around.
It's just the four of us.
It's a messy crit. It's a messy crit. It works. The two of you can bite without defense.
Sweet.
I will take that messy crit for you guys to go to town on this thing. Oh wait, I have to
Just
roll
for-
a rouse check. I'm probably going to get hungrier. I do get hungrier, but I'm still only at hunger 3.
That werewolf is looking tastier and tastier by the minute.
There's a lot of things that are looking tasty, and she's like, "Fuck, I need a Snickers." It's all about them.
Yep. Uh-huh.
So biting.
So biting.
Yep. Brawl strength.
Biting is brawl strength,
Okay.
and you get a +2 dice, but the damage is not aggravated in this case. But that's okay. I'm taking care of that.
I think it's just 2 dice. I think no matter what, as long as you get it, it's just 2 aggravated damage, right?
No. The way damage is
Yeah.
basically
You know, I was looking at 213, and it says regardless of the number of successes rolled,
this one is
Vampire
okay.
Fangs.
This one is
Yeah.
different.
do 2 points of damage on a win on a brawl roll.
Oh boy. So that's
Aggravated
2?
health to mortal sin damage.
Mm-hmm.
All
2-2.
right.
And I immediately trigger brutal feeding.
Your
I don't have to wait till next turn.
Your biting does not. It doesn't even register the bites. You're like literally mosquitoes. But I do need both of you to roll, so I know how many successes you have. So it's a 4 and a 3. Oh no, it's not. It's not
or-
defending. I'm dumb. It's not defending.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're both biting it.
And I brutal feed this turn, not next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So that's going to be. I currently have 4 hunger. I can take all 4 in one go. So I'm not quite certain how it works.
So
it is
basically, it's
the difference between like mortals and not mortals is all I'm
it's
saying.
worth double. So if brutal feed says on a mortal you can take 4 blood, 1 shot, then that means you could take up to 8. Basically, it means reduce your hunger to 0. You know.
Yes. So just let you know that I'm taking 4 from it. Just so you know.
Its internal pressure has lowered.
I'm no
Yeah.
longer in hunger frenzy. So I don't know because look, I don't know
Yeah.
if this were a vampire, it would just increase its hunger by 4. but because I don't know what it is, either it takes 4 aggravated damage, or its hunger goes up by 4. I don't know what this thing is. It seems
Yeah, I'm taking
questionable.
care of the very complex math in the
Yeah, yeah.
background.
I'm gonna just steer to 0.
What
Algebra's
about you,
involved.
Arthur?
I have bitten. I am holding on for dear life like a tick at a rodeo, and just
So every turn, because you don't have brutal fetus,
Yeah.
you want 2 hunger in your case.
okay.
We're
So,
gonna
That'll
go
start
with,
next round. I'll be able to get 2 off.
What does its blood taste
No.
like, by the way?
No. Oh yeah, because you bit it.
Yeah.
What's his what?
Blood taste like? I'm drinking a whole lot of this blood right
You
now.
are drinking a
Wow.
whole lot of werewolf blood.
Yes. Does this have any interesting qualities or a bouquet?
Yes.
Is
For
it
every point of
melancholic?
For every point of hunger slaked by werewolf blood, you increase the difficulty to Reese's frenzy by 1. Even if you stave off your beast, you become paranoid and short-tempered for as long as the blood remains in your system.
So
By the way, it is animal with choleric resonance, usually intense. Alchemists prize it for its high miscibility with other ingredients.
Animal and choleric.
So you just said that it would encourage paranoia? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, until you basically, go back to the hunger that you
So-
slaked with it. So if you are at 2, you went down to 1. It's in your system until your hunger goes back to 2.
So all this does is make Artie more Artie.
Yes.
But what does it do for somebody like Dixon?
Gonna make him
Who-
paranoid and short-tempered.
Because he's in frenzy, right?
No,
not
no
anymore.
longer.
Not anymore.
Oh,
You're out of
Because
it.
it was hunger frenzy, and then he slaked everything, so it's no longer hunger frenzy.
If it were anger, fury frenzy, that'd be different. I would just
No.
not actually ever
Stop.
come out of that.
So next turn,
yeah. Mhm.
he's going to repeat what he tried to do last turn. The 2 of you are still drinking because there's still enough blood in there.
Well, see, next turn, Artie gets to drink.
Yeah, Artie gets to drink. You get to do normal drinking if you
I'm
want.
going. What I'm going to do is rouse the blood to heal superficial damage, and then drink that.
Again.
And Flory?
Hmm.
At this point, am I in its line of sight?
I mean, you see him.
Am I
You wanna
in
know
its
if
line
he's
of?
watching you? It's looking at you.
Yeah.
You can easily move during your turn to be in its line of sight.
Can I move to be out of his line of sight?
Yes, that too.
Okay.
Because
Cool.
it's waving around trying to get rid of the 2 ticks. It's not looking 360 degrees all the time.
Cool. I'm going to shift out of its line of sight and then activate Unseen Passage. And
Yes. Sorry, I had Silence of Death in my head.
no, that's automatic. I have that all the time.
Yeah, but I was like, why are you activating walking silently? No, it's unseen is different.
Yeah. I default to
Silence
walking
of Death.
I default to Silence of Death. That's always on. But Unseen Passage, she wants to move out of the way of being seen and possibly work her way along a wall out of his line of sight and out of the. Well, oh no, she would know that he's no longer in frenzy. But just maneuvering
Just in case.
self,
Mhm.
No,
No, get to a safe space. Yeah, a safe spot. Mm-hmm.
and then spend like shift and then reload the gun. Because
All right.
For a not really held action, but like a triggering action, if either of them get thrown off and it looks like they are no longer holding that giant fucking beast, she's just going to start shooting again.
Okay. You don't
I'll
need
do
to make a
more
roll,
damage to
aside
it
from
later.
a rush check.
Yeah, I'll do more damage later. I'm just gonna slake that hunger that I got, so I'll just do another damage to it. Oh, my friend. Oh,
You have to
your
make
turn.
a hunger frenzy check, Lori.
Yeah. Yep.
This werewolf is gonna end up just being drank to death.
Can you? I wonder if you can dabblerize a
No.
weird, creepy werewolf.
If it's an abomination, you can deauthorize it.
Yeah, because that's different.
See?
I get to
I don't know
resist
what this is.
frenzy.
And failed.
Failed.
Yep, because I rolled.
So you're joining
Well-
in. Are you joining in the parade?
Well, the question. Okay, so
buffet is
the
open.
difficulty is always 2.
Yep. For
Yeah.
hunger
Or hunger.
frenzy.
Okay,
When you're at 4 and you're exposed to live
Yeah.
blood.
but she's gonna do it quietly from behind because I'm unseen
Well,
at the moment.
On your turn, anyway, you're
Yeah.
unseen. Yeah, but you're
Yeah.
instead of moving away, you're moving closer.
Yeah, but from the back.
It's a nice juicy steak.
The
Arthur.
buffet is open.
Uh-huh. Arthur, what are you doing on your turn?
Feeding
All right.
quickly. Quickly.
And Dixon, what was it again?
I just fed the one because I only have one hunger
Okay.
open because I
So
Rouse
basically,
to
now that
hit.
it's not under dread gaze,
I will take 2 from its overall internal pressure.
yep,
uh-huh,
it is
uh-huh.
dying.
That's too
Um,
bad. It's so
there's
sad.
There's a lot of blood missing all of a sudden. Again, he attacks both of you, so I'm gonna divide the successes in half. So each of you 4 success. Because you didn't roll anything, because you're still just leeching off of him, I'll give you a choice. You make a roll for defense, possibly skipping the damage, but you are no longer latched onto it. Or you take the damage, but you stay latched onto it.
I can't take damage right now, so I will try and detach and make a dex athletics, but I will rouse the blood as well.
I will, rather than slaking that one hunger that I have, I will just grapple it back, right, to try to
Okay.
keep a hold of it.
So as it swipes near you, you basically grab a hold of its arm up to
Yeah,
its
because I'm
elbow.
still grabbing on it. I'm going to try to basically keep it,
Mhm.
and I will rouse my strength at 2 now. Lovely. But I do have that, and I realize that since I'm using this is choleric blood, I get a bonus because I get to roll more dice.
I match.
Lori, you are. Oh no, wait, that's still the. Wait, I'm still in the that turn. Not
Yeah.
yet.
3. I get the 3 for that I get the rouse check on strength, and I get the extra die for blood resonance. Discipline power bonus. Oh, it's just 1 for choleric when you have matching blood. Yeah. 8.
Yeah, no, you grapple it.
Yeah, he's not getting away from my grapple.
He's not getting away. Next turn, he's gonna try to get out of the grapple.
But
what do
since
the
I'm
three-
the only person that's in a grapple with him, he cannot attack Flory or Artie.
Nope, that's it. So this turn is where
Yeah.
next turn begins. All he's
Yeah.
gonna try to do is break away from you. I need your actions.
Flory's going to try and bite it from behind because she is hunger frenzied, but she is still Flory, so she doesn't try and grab things. That's not how she works.
But you need to grapple him before you drink.
She can do it without it, but then she's at a -2.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
at
you
a
get a
I'm at a
-2 if you-
penalty. I just have that.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like I honestly sat through this, but she wouldn't even
It's
in a
strength brawl,
frenzy.
-2.
She's not gonna
All right.
try and grapple it.
Because you were unseen,
Mm-hmm.
we'll remove the -2 basically. So
Okay.
it's strength brawl pure. It's still gonna roll its dicey thingies
It doesn't do
to
anything.
get
Good
out
luck.
of the brawl. Trooper, what is it you're gonna do this turn?
Um.
I'm making a big old mess. It's fine.
Oh. It's dying, right? So
Mhm.
it's going to try to break the grapple. I think this is going to be an opposed grapple check, and if I succeed, I will
Keep hold of it
drink it.
because you can still. Okay, so you're going for the. It's gonna have 10 successes.
Okay.
And Artie, what is it that you do?
In this moment, considering that its internal blood volume is getting critically low,
Very, very low.
I'm going to
But you're still
try.
in frenzy.
No,
Yeah,
he was never
I was
in frenzy.
in frenzy.
He succeeded.
No, Arthur wasn't. He just wanted to
Nice.
drink.
Yeah.
That's
I was just like, now my hunger's back down to 2. I am less of an issue. It was beforehand. It was like
Right.
I'm at hunger 4, and the buffet is open, but there's also a Flory-sized buffet adjacent to me. Let me go to the big one. No, I am going to try and mesmerize again and put this thing to sleep. As I continue, now that I'm irritable and have drank from it, all of a sudden I'm making all my rouse checks. Okay. Five successes.
5. And it needs to beat 5.
Yes. Damn it.
What the hell?
Wow. Okay.
Well, apparently mesmerize is useless.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
Murder it. Murder.
It's 7 dice. So it would be 6 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Still beats me. So. Because I only have 5 dice to roll.
I mean, you could reroll
So
and
it-
try to get a crit.
A 1 in 10 chance? No.
Yeah, I mean,
It breaks the grapple from me.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. That's all right. That's all right. Mm-hmm. Huh? Okay. Next round.
It breaks from the grapple. It. Yep,
I-
I'm just checking something for Flory.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. It's just that.
I mean, in this instance, I can't see anything other than the fact that I continue to try and the frenzy doesn't go away.
No,
It
the
doesn't go
frenzy
away until
will
you get down to
definitely
1.
not go away. It's just I froze my Adobe.
Yeah, you have to get down to 1 hunger to get out of feeding frenzy, which is actually doable as opposed to the other ones, which are,
Almost impossible.
Get away from the thing of fear, or put down the thing that made you angry.
But when you put it
Good, I can
down,
have it
you then
here.
have to roll again to see if you just stay,
Hmm.
because if you might just continue to murder things even after you put down the thing that made you angry. Especially
No,
if you have
you do fail.
Yeah.
Spectacularly, but you were hidden, so nobody sees you. However, I'm gonna say that due to the bestial failure, the unseen passage goes away. You you literally tried to do the same thing Arthur did earlier, just not by grabbing him, and you ended up getting probably like elbowed away as it's trying to get out of the grapple. Next turn.
I'm going to try to compel it. I'm going to say freeze. And hopefully that will allow me to, it will help me to grapple it. Will be my goal to compel it to freeze and then try to grapple. Because, you know, this thing needs to die.
It's on its last legs.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's gonna be a. Oh wait, I am so sorry. I cannot. No, I can. It's okay. I still can. I just am gonna have a really sad time with it because I have no willpower. I will try the compel and then grapple. I don't know what my friends are doing.
Lori?
Oh, one of my friends is friends.
Still kicking bite?
Flori's first frenzy.
Flory, yeah, Flory is going to like it doesn't matter. Anything that happens is going to be a failure. Like there's no way for me to succeed in any of this. So Flory is going to try and just bite down because even if I try and grapple, it's not going to work.
Well, if I freeze it, it might not be able to defend itself
if
against
he's
you.
if he's frozen because of the
Yeah, then we'll
then you'll grapple. So basically,
Yeah.
if you in your frenzy, if you see that it stops moving for a second, you're gonna grab onto it.
yeah.
If it
basically.
doesn't, you're just gonna try to grab a bite. And Arthur,
Yeah.
what is your
I'll try and mesmerize it again to get to sleep.
Everyone is.
I am trying to mentally bombard this mother.
I mean, he's rolling half his dice pool and all the mental stuff you're doing.
I'm gonna say.
Now the hunger comes back up.
Okay, let me roll this.
Wait, it comes back up, so you're out of werewolf juice in your veins.
Well, no. I have gotten 2 points. I'm now back to 3.
3, yeah, because you in your case is 4. Yeah.
I'm impaired, so no successes on the dominate because, again, not great. But I will try to grapple it because this thing needs to be restrained.
I'll spend willpower
He
to
has
reroll
3
2.
successes. So we'll just
You
wait
can do
for
it.
Arthur to
You can do it. I believe in you.
There.
It is.
Sleep!
You give it the command. It wails in pain again from just the voice, and it falls down with a bang, breaking the stone of the tunnel underneath its massive body. The skull basically falls and like bounce once, leaving a shallow crater where it rests.
So-
Listen, y'all. It's got 1 HP left. There's
Well,
3 of you. He's sleeping. We're gonna take a break. Grab a drink, everyone, while the characters are grabbing
a drink? We're grabbing a drink. Nice.
Yeah, it's a hot pot. This is Loop Garou hot pot. You know, everybody's sharing. It's fine.
Basically,
Wait.
because you can all latch onto it if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You can all reduce your hunger by 2, and then it doesn't have any juice left. All right.
Wait,
Okay.
but 2 will not get Flory out of her hunger frenzy.
I can just reduce mine by 1. That would reduce Flory's by
It'll
3.
Well, then it means that someone out of you would have to not.
Or I could not partake. I'm fine with that. I'm good at 3 to get Flory out of
If one of you
hunger.
doesn't partake, Flory can take, count as the 2 people drinking, so that would bring you to 0.
I will hold off.
Does that work for you?
Well, I mean, there could be up to 2 people, so if Dixon's not partaking, Arthur can.
I just don't. Okay, but so the point is that we are reducing Flory's hunger to 0, is what I'm hearing. Okay.
Because otherwise, you're not coming out of frenzy. Just for
it just shows in your face that you're hungry. So.
Well, you. I feel like the light of Flory is not. You're like, oh, okay.
No.
You're
it's
pushing
gone.
people away to get to the crab legs at the buffet.
Yeah.
Artie, where are you at in terms of hunger?
3 right now.
I'm at 2. So if you want to take the last 2, you can go down to 1.
How about we both take 1? Because also
I don't think.
you've suffered some damage.
It's either 2 people reduced to 0,
Yeah.
or
Okay.
all 3 of you reduce 2 points.
Okay, I can. Let's just let Flory.
I hand it to you.
No, it's Flory plus
Okay.
1. So
Okay,
Flory
I'll
plus
take
1.
the other 2 then. I'll be down to 1. Still
0.
have 0.
Yeah, because there's 2 of you on it.
Oh,
That's what I was saying. It's either 2 that gets their hunger to 0, or 3,
Okay.
but you get less.
okay. I'll go to 0. This is going to be weird.
Oh, but it's supernatural, so you're not hungry right now.
Yet.
As the thick, warm blood goes down your gullet, you feel the burn like a good fine whiskey, and we're gonna be right back, everyone.
I just hold it down for.
Hello. We're back. I have a cat on my lap.
A lap cat?
So we have chosen Dixon's scene. So let's flash back for a moment. Dixon, the last memories you have are these half-faded images of well, Antonio's life, or on life. And once you are yourself again, you notice his discarded trench coat.
I'll pick that up and sort of
It's a decent
put it
coat.
into my hobo bag, right? You know, I have to keep that.
You can feel
Start
around
driving
you
back.
that the air has changed.
Do I see his cross? I remember that when I was coming in, I saw his cross before I saw his.
You could just walk back and pick it up. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take that
if you
too.
want.
Yeah.
It feels strange
And I'll put
because
that in my
yeah,
pocket.
as a kindred, you know, religious symbols don't in themselves affect you, but there was still a like, you know, why would you keep something that could potentially represent, you know, a source of danger? But in this case, the crucifix on the chain, though it is cold to the touch, feels it's like it lit a hearth in your heart, like I don't know, like a comforting blanket. You almost without meaning to chuckle out loud. It's
Going to
Yep.
put it on my inside pocket. Yeah, just don't want it visible. Nobody needs to
that's
see
fine.
it.
You walk back to where we ended, essentially in the bigger tunnel. There's nothing
have to,
left. And that's when you feel something. You weren't used to that before, but you feel reverberations. Like one would when putting your ear against the ground, hearing the footsteps of an approaching army, or an oncoming train, or in this case, an oncoming werewolf. It's not that far away. And there is a voice in your head. It might be yours. It might come from your heart. It might come from your pocket. But it says essentially, go to them. Save them.
I make sure no one can get to my bag.
You've got potence. You can rip a piece of the wall apart and shove your possessions in a hole
My sire.
before yeah.
Well, also ripping the hole explains where you got the big, huge rock.
Concrete. Oh, yeah, because, you know, so I'm going to sort of rip apart some of this concrete, put this hobo bag, which includes my sire and a bunch of books and chemical
Folded up sire. Yeah.
you know, all these things. I imagine it being like a huge, massive sleeping bag with everything, you know, stuffed in it, and I sort of pressed it in, and then I sort of put
The fun
concrete.
part with being torpored, by the way, is that you are not solid. You're actually limp. and very foldable. And being a wraith, a white, not a wraith. That's different in this world.
Hey,
Being a white, she was very very emaciated. So
I'm still very respectful to my sire's body. Come on now.
well, yes, but like in a way, you know, you can maximize the space in that bag in a rather quick time.
There's a lot. There's. I still haven't read that the letter to me from
No, you're
her
just shoving them
because
down.
I don't have time. I will read that
and
later.
You
But
feel
you know,
that what you just said, you don't have time. You sort of feel it now in your chest that you're on the wrong path. That, you know, staying here might not be the purpose you were given.
well, having sort of put my sire and the books and all that stuff in a safe spot, taking one of the big pieces of concrete, I'm gonna go and like look through my ancestors' eyes to try to sense where that shift was coming from. Because if those two are in trouble,
Well, you don't know what they meant by them. But with your ancestors'
Well-
eyes, you can clearly see now two familiar kindred. They're far. They're, 60-ish yards away. It's half of a football field, right?
Little over.
a little over.
Half of a Canadian football field.
Oh,
And
Nice.
And with your enhanced senses, while you do not see what's running after them, ooh, do you feel the reverberations coming their way? You take off in a sprint, and you hear gunshots. And then the rest, as they say, happened 2 hours ago on stream. During that encounter,
I have concrete. I have concrete plans. Those concrete plans involve
concrete.
large bits of masonry, and I had to do it for Pope. I did it for the Pope.
But you didn't have the rebar to follow through with.
It would have made for an impromptu mole, I guess. No, mole, M-A-U-L, Zoom. Come on.
You know,
Yeah, okay.
I have to break the mold. You know what I mean?
During the fight with the creature, Arthur sought to know what it was. Also, I should stop the combat music. Y'all are safer now. Safe-ish. It used to be human. Or more likely, a werewolf that hadn't undergone their first change. And someone, through a vulgar application of vicissitude, brought the wolf form out. Forced a shape change where there were none before. And then they had fun with the wolf form. Now that it lies still, you can even see that its entire snout is shorter and wider than it should be, almost in the mockery of a human face. He looks. I'm gonna have a weird comparison, but a lot of people will probably get it. He looks like a fleshy version of the Goombas from the old Super Mario movie with John Leguizamo.
Okay. So I'm picturing, for another parlance would be if you took the American Werewolf in London and mashed it up with a Pathfinder goblin.
Yeah. Yep. It's just
Okay.
not a football head.
No. Just
but-
put wide and mini
Yeah, like,
teeth.
The corner of its lips are way too far back for a human.
Yeah.
But not far enough for a lupine. It was, yes, I'm sorry, Bob Hoskins, but I forgot his name. Thank you, Krellin. It's been reshaped and remolded. It's been, of course, tortured. But through the use of vicissitude, all of its... And the reason why the body is so strange and why, like, some thighs are bigger than others, you get the feeling that some of its organs were moved where muscles should be, and muscles moved where organs should have been.
Yeah. If someone's playing, that's a common parlance thing to do.
For what it's worth, it was a werewolf. I mean, it tasted like a werewolf anyway. You know that.
Yeah.
But whoever did this, I'm not going to say they're a master at vicissitude or at flesh crafting. They are an experimenter.
Yeah, they're a tinkerer.
An unethical thinker.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes?
Is this, like, I wouldn't know, because I don't know these things, but, like, if I were somebody who had a sire whose name rhymed with, like, pal, and maybe I'd seen that sire's work before, would it seem like that sire's work? It's just a question I had.
Oh, I figured Pope would have asked it sooner or later.
Yeah, but this doesn't feel like Val's work.
No.
I think he was
So-
afraid to ask it, so I wanted to ask it.
No. This is inelegant.
This is... You have seen Slacha?
Yes,
Warghouls.
Slacha. Yeah.
Slacha before. You know when shit hits the fan, when everything falls apart, Simichi will transform into abominations to go to
Like-
war, or transform someone else into an abomination to go to war. Because you also have the war form.
Yeah, like there's tiers of preparation. But
In this case,
this,
it's like someone wanted a very unique Warghoul
yeah,
and needed,
mhm.
I will say, its regenerative capabilities. Because the flesh crafting kept dealing damage, if you would. It kept damaging, hurting the thing. To the point where, well, the intro that I
Yeah, it's
short story I spoke about earlier, it was brainwashed. Well, actually, brain flushed. Lori knows she's seen the inside of that skull.
Yeah, this thing has been tormented and is without its keeper for some time.
Do you have any other questions while that
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
during the fight?
Yeah, well, like
Mhm.
the other thing that is the immediate thing that would come to mind is this the same as the rats? Is this the same? Is this the
Yes.
same hand?
It's the
Okay.
same sort of flesh with the same sort of growth in some places. And I
Okay.
mean, he is an almost hairless Krenos,
Yeah.
which the
Yeah.
rats were also hairless.
Again, if every artist has their signature, and it's just like, okay, it's more of the same. In which case, it's now time to retrieve something from one of my bags. Um,
I take it this is after the fight because
yeah, this is after the fight.
I need to
I
say
have-
one thing though. If we're moving
Okay.
to after the fight,
Yes.
I mean, you can take your bag, but something happens when the head hits the ground a second time.
Mhm.
Its skull, you know where the junction of all three skull bones
Yeah.
are?
hemispheres. Yeah.
The hemisphere, it cracks open.
Is there a prize inside?
That's what I'm hoping. Prize, Kinder
Flory,
egg.
Flory,
There
I
it
think
is.
Flory, I think would have gone for that immediately because she saw it before when she.
Yeah, it's been a little dented now that you've shot at it. It is a disc of brass, a heavy disc of brass with a hole in the middle where the spine would have connected to the brain. It is marked in sigils all around it, like a sort of spiral. The language on it, it looks ancient, but as a connoisseur of art, you've seen that before. It's I guess it's a way of writing in the language of Oc, which is what will become the Occitan language in France later on in near the part of France that's southwest near Spain. Because some of the letters are familiar. I mean, some of the letters are the Arabic letters that we're all used to. Other characters.
No, they're Roman letters, not Arabic letters.
Roman, yeah.
Arabic numerals, Roman letters.
Yeah.
But you can make out kind of what it says. To use in case of emergency. A very modern thing to write.
Can I use because she's gonna pick it up? She's also gonna take. No.
By the way,
Can I-
it's as big as like a CD-ROM.
Okay. She's gonna pick it. She's gonna pick it up with her gloves, not touch it, because she's wearing gloves. Can I evaluate generally how old this is?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Like the construction, like is it?
Yeah.
Does it look like, general?
Yeah, definitely. Give me intel and that would be, I guess, for art.
Investigation or
Yeah.
larceny?
No, we'll go with investigation. I think you're trying to evaluate less its monetary worth, like value, than
Yeah,
other-
yeah.
So invest.
3
3
successes.
Yep. Yeah, that's enough. It was made recently, like 20th century.
And I think at that she's gonna turn and look at Artie and then see Artie going for his bag to do what Artie is doing. But also
Yes.
then kind of look around to see if she can see where Dixon is.
I was holding the body down, so like,
Yeah.
I'm
So
like
you're
right
still on
there
top
on the
of it?
body.
I think in that Artie or Flory kind of, because Flory was originally going after she calmed down to pull the knife out of the back.
Mhm.
And I think that's where she sees after the thing cratters, she sees the brass thing. She pulls it out. She takes the knife. She's gonna wipe it on the body of the dead Garrow, flip it, and offer it to Dixon.
Why would I want that?
Just in case.
What do you find?
Apparently, our Frenchman friend is being very weird, and I don't think it's the Frenchman that's upstairs. I think it's the one that's in France. And she'll hold out the brass disc to Artie, and still is offering the knife hilt side first towards.
I forgot to mention one thing.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm rereading my notes. It's artisan made, like it's handmade,
Mhm.
not. It wasn't like cast in.
No, it's not.
in anything.
It's
Been
carved.
forged.
It's been
It's what you're
forged.
saying.
It's been
forged by someone who's not necessarily a smith.
Okay, but it's been forged, not a jewel smith, because usually you would okay. So it's been forged.
Imagine if it's someone who's at home and decides to build themselves a little forge
Mhm.
to try to like recreate, except big enough to make a thing. But
So
you can
it's-
see it in like little dents, little imperfections.
So it's been
here and
hammered.
there.
So it's been hammered. Okay.
And it's
So
about
she's gonna-
PA thick.
She's gonna hand it over to Artie, but she's still offering the knife.
Not my knife, and I don't use knives.
I'm trying to offer you a gift and thanks for saving our necks.
I don't need gifts for doing what I do.
Just kind of surprised that you're down here. Thankful, though. As Arthur has the disc, but is putting that to the side as he pulls out a pair of pliers and begins taking the teeth
By the
from
way,
the skull of the guru.
you have emptied this thing so much that it is half the size it used to be. And there is no more blood in it to give to Alex if you wanted to.
No, I figured
for,
that,
for
that
alchemy purposes.
that was all gone, but I can take the teeth and I can take the claws, and I can probably part with some of the teeth to Valois, and he'll be just giddy. So as for the claws, I'm keeping those myself.
Oh yeah, because that's another thing with your check from earlier. Arthur, an actual werewolf would have reverted to human form. That's its human form.
Delightful. This is just, this is some tasty blasphemy. As just, well, I have a sneaking suspicion that the guy wearing the coat, not entirely certain that he made this, but some cousin of mine made this.
Your cousins are all creepy. I want you to know this.
This is a tinkerer. This is somebody who's experimenting, not necessarily someone who has found their muse yet.
As you remove the claws one by one, can you give me a what is it? Let's go with wits and investigate.
Okay.
Yeah, I think wits investigate.
Anything for flesh crafting or Zim?
It's not flesh, so we'll say no.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. You could do wits and craft, because it is a crafting thing.
Oh, witscraft. Does my flesh crafting specialty apply?
No, that's it. It doesn't apply.
Okay,
but
so
it is,
but
it is
witscraft. Okay, I'll do witscraft. Witscraft is better than my
It's
wits investigation.
witchcraft.
I want you to know, Trooper, I was about to do the exact same thing, except I had popcorn in my mouth and you didn't, so thank you.
I was there for you.
2
was there for you.
successes.
The claws have been tempered.
Like bends slightly. Go.
Like, yeah. They're not bone.
Oh no. Oh, this is some interesting blasphemy.
What kind of metal are those?
If it's tempered, it has to be steel.
It's steel. It is steel, with like a dark color on it,
I
like
mean,
a.
It's probably tool steel.
you can theoretically temper other things not as well, but you could.
No, but
Yeah, but I meant it in the sense
if it's dark, it's probably tool steel.
And it's not flash crafting.
It's flesh crafting with accessories. Okay.
No. What I mean is, you recognize it as not the work of a Tsimichi.
Oh,
So
somebody
this,
else
this
made
might
these.
have been a group project.
Oh. Thinking back, it's part of the reason why I kind of flipped out that entire Dark Angel thing now.
Mhm.
As I'm holding this in my hands and looking at it. That particular gang that that odious individual was a part of, did it have, someone who is interested in metallurgy or, a Zim?
You mean in their pack?
Yeah, in the pack. Like, every pack has the trade between packs when it comes to like hobby skills. That's how you have a conversation.
Trying to remember as I'm looking at stuff. The only one that you figure might have in that pack is the one that disappeared, Yasmin the Black, who was a Tremere. The closest that you would have to like magically do something, but
yeah,
metallurgy could be anyone's
like hobby. Yeah,
anyone's hobby. Yeah. However, I mean, there was one person called Ezekiel. You could probably, with religious significance, connotation, Sword of Cain type of thing. Claws of Cain, or
we're like GW. We wear the branding on the name. Okay. So okay, I see where this is going. Oh, I'm sorry, little one. Like, pats the broken skull. You had a hell of a time. As I take the last of these claws, put it in the baggie, and then bring more of my attention to the brass disc. So, guessing Mr. Facey may be the last surviving member of the pack. If he is the last surviving member, then I just have an overwhelming urge to make it so that there are no survivors. But that's just me.
I have a question. Are any of those, as you say this out loud, right, Artie?
Yeah.
And I think it's one of those, like, Glory is just now, like, still holding the knife out at Dixon, but turns to look at you to carry on this conversation and says, so are any members of this pack 13th, 14th century French?
Not as far as you remember. They were,
but they did have
old enough to like have gotten like shed all of their human reflexes.
No, not so much. But they did have a Tremere. And again, if like anybody's going to have a hobby for linguistics, you're more likely going to deal with Tremere, Ventru, or one of the Roses. Those are the ones that usually look at language as a thing to be studied. Occasionally you get Nosferatu, but they have even more scholarly pursuits as to the origin of language.
Words are fun.
Well,
why would you write it in some language that's not yours if it doesn't have any sort of mystical properties?
Code, real good and simple. Like, if you want,
this wasn't going to be something anyone else would read.
You
No, it
never
does-
know who's going to crack open your safe.
Now, speaking of cracking, it does say in case of emergencies, which means I have an overwhelming urge to break it.
This may be the key that my head is telling me that we need.
We'll hold on to it, and then we'll get to a point where we have to break in case of emergency.
Something or other, or use it as a pass. Or...
Is there anything else written on it, or is it just those words in case of emergency? Is it pressed like? Does it look like there has
No,
any?
It looks like this object
Mhm.
is to be used in case of an emergency.
Okay.
But
Oh. Oh no! Break, and she points at the werewolf. In case of emergency.
Again,
Say
it's the
break or
safe.
use.
Well,
No,
this is
the circle just says in case of emergency, but
yeah.
the break in case of emergency is
Is the
much
werewolf?
closer.
Maybe-
yeah, but
Maybe it's just that the werewolf itself is what you use.
yeah, but if
You activate the werewolf in case of emergency.
you've met the Nos that are around here, right?
There are all sorts of things in the.
There's a particular one named Enzo who's very, very sweet on you.
He's very polite. We did not tell him the reason. We just told him we hadn't seen you.
We met him and Lucci trying to find our way down here, and he made mention of some sort of terrifying shadow. The unfortunate individual that went by the title King of the Sewers, who, in a fit of anger and hunger, I violently consumed, had memory of a shadow, and that the shadow has the key. If I were in Enzo's place and thought of something dangerous in the darkness with, yellow eyes, and obviously, this fella here can cast a big shadow. At least you could. Until proven otherwise, I'm going to assume this disc is a key of some sort. Though that leads to a new question. As overwhelmed with joy that you were here to save my ass, why are you down here?
Also, why are you sticky?
Blood.
Yeah, but usually you're not that messy when you eat. And it's
not
like
mine.
all over you.
But it's also like all like including because he bathed in the blood, so it's 100%.
Full body baptism sticky.
Yeah, it's sticky. Also, storyteller.
Uh-huh.
I have a question about a certain thing,
Mhm.
according to the rules of 5th edition.
Mhm.
And given Flory's certain proclivities to share with certain people, is Dixon now a walking signboard of diablerie?
He doesn't have the black veins.
Oh, interesting. Cool.
Oh,
Thank you.
It's got the color of whatever it is that emotion. Well, it's choleric because of the choleric blood, but he's not like your sense the beast doesn't ping as danger, but he's perpetually angry, or at least in the moment, and it doesn't seem to want to go away.
Cool. Good to know. Thank you. Then she will not say that, but she'll just say the sticky.
Not mine. I'm not injured.
is it anybody we should be concerned about?
No.
Do you mind? Takes a finger like he's going to put out and like swipe some.
You taste it?
Yeah, if I'm allowed.
Well, I mean, you can put it in your mouth and suck
Yeah,
on it.
I'm using taste for blood.
Um,
I'm using my blood sorcery to try and identify who was the sticky. What was the sticky?
so many questions.
Yes. I will make taste for blood roll.
And Dixon just looks like a little bit like, what is that about? What an odd thing to do.
He's trying
Yes,
to figure out who's sticky you are.
I'm having my due south moment. If you know, you know.
Hashtag Kowalski best.
3 successes on the 3 that I needed. Div 3. I can identify.
VtM.
It's So this is, of course, the blood that was in the pool.
Yeah.
And it's got an aftertaste of kindred blood.
Mhm.
But let me just check with the taste for blood thing.
I can determine resonance, intensity of blood if human, whether the blood it belongs to mortal, ghoul, vampire, or other supernatural creature. Relative blood potency, relative generation.
Okay, it's got a mix of different kindred blood. Out of all of them, one that you taste is one that you've just hit caviar, my friend. That tasted a little bit like salubri. But then you also taste familiar blood. Mostly, I would say equivalent to you. Maybe 1 gen up, 1 gen down. But we're remaining in that territory, not elder blood. Simichi, Bruja, Salubri, Malkavian, and Kine. Mostly Kine. Like 75% Kine.
Well, someone has an interesting taste in making a wine-like blend. Maybe some Sabat mixologist? I've tasted some strange stuff in the time, but Salubri is new. That's a rare one.
Oh yeah,
I
and
taste it.
it tastes almost better than the werewolf blood. Even though it's old and sticky and disgusting,
it's
the
still
clan
rarefied.
bane still shines
Yeah,
through.
no, like,
Yeah,
that's some fresh raspberry.
When you taste yourself, Dixon, something that you haven't done yet.
Because it never occurred to me to do that.
No, and because you don't have taste for blood, you don't really have the same information, but you do sense like there's a little like aftertaste in it that you really enjoy. There's also an
Ginger,
aftertaste
maybe?
in it that like a lingering taste that feels very familiar.
Huh, it's
I guess you would know. It's from Hetty. There's a bit of Hetty in there. There's a bit of Hetty all over you.
that is a unique flavor profile.
Okay. I've got business.
Do we need help?
I can't trust you to not share with everyone everything all the time. But I need to take care of Val.
Did you find her down here?
No. But if she wants into whatever is in this big place, then she'll be down here eventually. So I'm gonna go and set some traps. Try to ruin her, because as long as she's here, Montreal will not be safe.
She's very good at traps. There is one thing that is a hard to get, but causes any one of us some consternation just because of how toxic it is and how much of a problem it is even in exotic forms. Um, Chlorine gas, that can cause issues.
It's cheap and easy to make, though.
Like if you are going through a passage and there is a pocket, that can cause someone with Valve's capabilities with vicissitude some issue, as it has a tendency to eat away even at undead flesh.
So that's not just a problem for Val, but for everyone.
Yeah, but you can put it in a place that is only accessible to someone who can squeeze through. And leave it so that it is in the aerosol, or well, have it triggered to be in the aerosolized state. And once they are in the cloud, as the kids would say. And that's going to cause them consternation, and depending on how she reconstitutes, could cause significant damage to the eyes. And being blind down here, it sounds like a really bad time.
Ori, while this conversation is happening, your Scry the Soul is still up. You see the varying emotional state of everyone. But there's also something that that you begin to see as the choleric color of Dixon fades away. He was under a buff, game terms, some sort of spell, but not dominate. More like temporary enhancement. And then it'll bring back whatever emotion Dixon is feeling right now.
So he's like super chill in a angry, but rather than super chill kind of way. It is, emotional, better emotional regulation through chemistry, basically, or magic in this case.
Yeah, like he's on magic antidepressant. Sort of.
Sometimes you need that quality.
It's more like, okay, so the thing I would put it the closest to, but I didn't want to say it too much because it's. Do you know the green serum that Bane injects himself with?
Yeah.
Oh, Venom.
Yeah, Venom. Kind of like that, except without the berserk part. It's like he was on magic steroids for a bit. And it faded. And at the same time, Dixon, as you're talking to Arthur, the feeling of the comforting blanket embrace of the medallion crucifix fades almost imperceptibly. Like it's just, at some point you just realize it consciously. And it's just gone. Like Antonio.
I am taking it on myself to protect the city, and that means taking care of Val and thwarting whatever it is she has got, whatever she wants, to make sure she doesn't get it.